And because of that offensive line, Keith, the Hurricanes are running the ball better this year than they have in the last several.
Derek Harris, the tight end, comes in as the extra blocker on 3rd down and 1, and they go to his side. Stewart carries across the 30 up to the 31 and gets the first down. So the Orangemen give up the first down grudgingly, but they do have to give it up to the power of Stewart. Dan Conley and Antoine Pons are the linebackers on the inside. Conley is well advertised as having had 10 knee operations. Antoine Pons is also dinged up considerably from the earlier part of the season. The down 3 guys, the big guys in the front, need to get some pressure. That would help Syracuse tremendously. Out of the shotgun, the pass is deflected. It's intercepted. It is a great play by Dan Conley to keep the ball in the air and come down with it for the interception. It was Kevin Abrams who made the first contact on it and forced the ball on the tip.
Syracuse went to a nickel defense because Miami went to 4 wide receivers. The ball was tipped up in the air and intercepted. Here's Conley. He's a middle linebacker out over one of the wide receivers. Nice play there by Abrams, the quarterback, and Conley gets his first interception of the year.
That is Costa's 11th interception.
But not his fault.
Can you imagine a kid who's had 10 knee operations playing football like that?
He says, this is the reason I went through all that, to play against the Miamis and the Boston Colleges of the world, who are a big rival of Syracuse.
First down from the 45-yard line. Into the middle goes Kirby Dardar, a senior out of Tampa, and there's not much there. Kevin Mason waited his turn, and did you know that he was the number 2 rated passer in Division 1A quarterback standings? He waited and waited and waited, and finally Marvin Graves was gone, and Kevin Mason got his chance, and he has been the starter all season long.
And he's improving, Keith, each game.
Both teams coming into the ball game at 6-1. Here's your option. Mason turns it up and runs it down to the 36-yard line. That is a yard short of the first down. He looked a little surprised at that much room.
She did.
As he turned up the field. Kirby Dardar, who has a big fan club here in Syracuse and up and down the coast, come out of Tampa to play ball at Syracuse, 188-pounder. He's real. He's a good one.
A big fan club, huh?
Yeah. There's Geraldine, Mama. Terry Morris is a 217-pound sophomore, the fullback, as they go to a wishbone set now. They're 54% this season on 3rd down conversions. And the crowd is very respectful, as you can see, for the home team as they grew quite quiet and waited for the snap count. Ray Lewis brings down Dardar, but he gets the first down.
We mentioned Ray Lewis, number 52. He's a sophomore, leads the Big East in tackles, knows where it's going, gets into the backfield, gets a part of the tackle, but not enough for the first down for Syracuse.
And Lewis is a true sophomore out of Lakeland. Started last year as a freshman when injuries forced him into the game. As a matter of fact, he showed up very big in Colorado last year.
He's an outstanding player, Keith. Great leader also.
Mason back, keeps the ball, looks downfield, pulls it down, takes off, and takes the lick. Well, I'll tell you what, they blew the whistle, and depends on where they mark it, but they blew the whistle pretty early, long before he was on the ground. The first hit was by C.J. Richardson. The offensive front for Syracuse, and these are the people that have to hold the fort today if the Orangemen are to have any success. Wallaba at the center is the anchor for it, 6'4", 294, a senior from Hamburg. The ball is put down at the 30, so they gave him all that he had earned, even though the whistle did sound a bit early. 2nd down and 5. Ball at the Miami 30, go the other way with the option. He's got daylight over there. He's got a first down. He's still going. He's inside the 20, out of bounds at the 17-yard line. It is the defense that is the real true strength of these Miami Hurricanes, however, as They are anchored in the middle by Pat Riley and Warren Sapp, and Sapp in particular is heralded as a great defensive lineman, but Riley ain't bad. And if you get past those two, then you got that howitzer looking at you in the middle, Ray Lewis. The DBs are good. The corners particularly agile and quick. Richardson is the headhunter in that crowd. He will take a piece of you with him if you get in his neighborhood. It is first down at the 17 of Miami. Ball is handed inside to Dardar. And some nifty running by Kirby Dardar puts the ball down near the 10-yard line for a 7-yard pickup.
From behind the offense, number 74 pulling is the left tackle. That's Tootin. He gets a block on Lewis. A nice job by the interior linemen, Woolaball, Prescott, and Ellsworth. Nice pickup for the Orangemen.
Timeout charge to Syracuse. At 9:43 to go in the first quarter, Orangemen are threatening.
Hurricane defensive coordinator Greg McMacken. Hurricanes have not allowed an offensive TD in the Big East this year. Trying to call timeout. Must have too many players on the field. Somebody's trying to run off.
They got him off.
Confused.
Now he still wants a timeout because they're confused. Yep. And Syracuse came out in the I formation, which they had not seen. And he wanted timeout to get his troops organized.
Well,
so a little shaky start here for the Miami defensive corps as they get a little off balance in the dome, and it's not hard here, folks. I'm telling you, Nebraska came here in 1984 ranked #1 in the country and got beat 17-9, so it can happen. Next Saturday there's a college football doubleheader here on ABC Sports. It begins at noon now, 12 o'clock noon Eastern time next week. That's 11 in the middle of the country. Lou Holtz and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame will be down in Orlando against the Florida State Seminoles. And you know there's going to be some feeling in that ball game on the part of the Seminoles. Then at 3:30 Eastern time, the #2 team in the country, not in my opinion, but in the opinion of some, undefeated Penn State tackles Big Ten rival Illinois at Illinois. Very big, very big. And then undefeated Alabama will have Mississippi State. So check your local listings for the game in your area, or check with your cable operator for pay-per-view.
And the Notre Dame FSU game is at noon?
Yes.
Noon.
Paul Pasqualoni, 4th season Syracuse. You can see his record there. Very intense man. Very intense. Been here a good long time. Coached under Dick McPherson here. He's a Penn State graduate. So now we finally get around to 2nd down and 4, and here they come. Inside the 10, Malcolm Thomas, a sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, who almost went to Georgia Southern, but decided finally to come north, and they're tickled to death to have him in Syracuse, and he is a burner.
Well, one of the things in talking to the defensive coordinator for the Hurricanes, McMacken, he said, we're just going to play it basic the first series. Syracuse has played one game in the last 26 days. They've had 2 bye weeks, and in between those bye weeks, they played tempo. He said, we're not sure exactly what they're going to give us. We're going to play it plain and simple till we see a couple of drives and see what they're doing.
They've got it first down and goal at the Miami 6. They give it to Dardar, and he will lose. Number 90 made the initial contact. Kenny Holmes, a sophomore from Vero Beach, and there's a loss on the play of a couple of yards. That time the Miami defense fired. I mean, they really came, and you'll see that a lot. They do that in order to keep the double team off Sapp. Second down and goal now from the 8. Double wide to the right. Tight end is over there. Syracuse is always thrown to the tight end. Forced in the middle by Warren Sapp, number 76, and right behind Sapp came number 54, James Burgess. They turn him back in and get him at the 10.
Sapp is second on this team in tackles, and that's very high for a defensive lineman. Number 76 in the white jersey just blows up field. He is right in the quarterback's face. He's quick enough. He's second in tackles, doesn't get that one, but he should have gotten credit for making the play. He makes the players around him so much better because of his quickness.
It is third down and goal, and they have moved from the 6 back to the 10. Pass. Ball is deflected. Miami pops on it. It was not a forward pass. It was not loose before the ball started forward, before the arm made a move. Orange Sapp did it. Miami has the ball, and Syracuse is turned away.
Well, as advertised, 76, Warren Sapp. We talked to him about him before the game. There he is. And if there's any doubt whether if it's a fumble or an incomplete pass, the ruling is incomplete pass.
But there was no doubt in the judgment of the 3 officials who were within 15 feet of it. Miami takes over the ball first down at their own 14-yard line with Stewart, the single back. He's got the ball. And he comes barreling across the 20 to the 21. He picked up about 7 yards on that carry. When they lay their ears back, that is a ferocious defense.
The defense is all right for Syracuse, but the offensive line in this running game is pretty good for Miami.
So the offense given the opportunity here by the defense. Second down and short 4, long 3. Stewart again. Not much this time as the Orangemen gang up and bring him down.
Let's go back and take a look at the 4th down play. Syracuse passing the ball. 4th down. One of the problems was he didn't get the center exchange clearly. His arm is going up, and that is all that you have to do to declare it an incomplete pass. His arm was going up. The motion to throw the ball was in progress.
Third down and 1. Stewart didn't get there, and Miami will have to punt it away. The Syracuse defense reacting well. Now let's find out what's been happening with the Penn State Nittany Lions. Here is John Saunders.
Well, Keith, the question this week, who's number 1? Penn State, Nebraska, you make your choice. But how about Kajana Carter now as the front runner for the Heisman Trophy? Certainly looks like it on this run. 80 yards on the carry for a touchdown. 20 carries for 192 yards and an average of almost 10 yards a carry. They lead. Keith.
The punt is away by Dane Pruitt and kicks out of bounds. Downfield did not go out of bounds. It stayed right on the chalk and just kind of wobbled its way down over about the 30-yard line. So he got about 20 yards on the road. And it'll be Syracuse ball, first down at the 30. CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Lexus, makers of the faster and roomier 1995 LS 400. By the beer that's colder, bolder, yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born. Old Spice Sensitive. It's alcohol-free to take the heat out of aftershave. And Payne Weber. We believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships.
So look at the last punt. Syracuse knows Miami has had problems. Special teams.
24 was kind of there, and the foot came down on the shoulder pad.
Yeah, but I think the official was there, and he ruled that Pruitt left his foot out and tried to make the contact. I think that's a good non-call.
All right, Syracuse to the ball, first down, 30-yard line. Last time they had it, went 10 plays, didn't get any points out of it. Edmund Robinson and Malcolm Thomas are in the backfield as Mason hands off inside to the fullback. And Robinson, a 215-pound sophomore from Bensalem, Pennsylvania, will pop in there for a couple of yards on the play. We're pretty sure that we've gone past 50,000 in the dome today. because every ticket, this was the toughest ticket they've had around here in a while.
Yes, it was. First sellout of the year, too.
Second down, call it 7. Mason still got it. He's got a man if you let it go, but he held on to it. Now goes over the middle, and he's incomplete. And there is a penalty flag downfield, and Miami is going to get whacked with a penalty here, I think, because Kennard Lang, the defensive end, decked the quarterback over there, and it was Shamon Wilson who came over and separated C.J. Richardson from the ball. Personal foul against Miami. It happened on the sideline. Richardson, in the meantime, is shaken up after the collision with Shamon Wilson. Richardson had the ball intercepted, and but let's go back to the Lang thing with the quarterback. Now the ball's clearly gone. They're on the sidelines. The shove out of bounds. Yellow flag.
That's just a bad play by Lang. He lowered his head once the ball was thrown by the quarterback.
On his defense, 15-yard penalty.
Once he lowered his head, he didn't see when the ball was gone. He was just going to hit him. He ran all that way. He says, if I run this far, I'm going to hit him.
But that collision between Wilson and C.J. Richardson, C.J. had the ball in his hands and had it intercepted. Now watch this collision.
Well, number 6, Shamon Wilson right there saves an interception because Richardson was ready to intercept the ball.
Wilson weighs 220 pounds. He's going that fast. That's quite a collision. First down after the penalty now. The ball comes out to the 48-yard line. And Mason got a problem. Throws the ball sideways, and he's almost overrun by the Miami defense before he can get rid of it.
Good turn, Keith. It's just the quickness of this Hurricane defense forced him to throw it so quickly that he wasn't ready for it.
Tonight an ABC Family Movie premiere. One of your favorite stars back, Ernest Scared Stupid. Tonight followed by an all-new commish here on ABC. So put the ball after the errant pitch back at the 35-yard line, and C.J. Richardson checks back into the ball game now. Second down and 21. Mason chased out of the pocket. Throws underneath to Wilson. And Shamon Wilson is knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line, so it'll be third down and about 13 for Syracuse. You know, there are some big plays to be had against Miami when they're in this sellout mode, but they just don't give you a chance to get rid of the ball.
It's got to happen very quickly.
Yep, it really does.
You got to be ready, and you got to be quick. Florida State wins. Yellow indicates the game is over, and that is the winning team. Florida State winning big over Georgia Tech, who came out in yellow uniforms today also.
Third down and 13. Low snap. Mason gets his pass off, throws it very, very hard, and the pass is incomplete. He was off the hands of Malcolm Thomas, and James Burgess just jumped all over him. Big old linebacker just flattened him. So it'll be punting time for Syracuse. The defenses are holding up pretty well. A&M was stunned last week by SMU. Hoops bounces back to beat Virginia today.
What a shocker that is.
Bit of a surprise, huh?
Yeah.
Sean Reale is in the ball game, averaging 42.5 yards on 30 punts. Jamie German is waiting. He can haul it. It's a good punt. It's a dandy. Kicks into the end zone. It'll come out for the 20. 55-yard punt by Sean. And we'll see the Hurricanes trying to get it cranked up in a moment. 4:49 to go in the first quarter of play. Miami with the ball now. First down at their own 20. And you've got Larry Jones in at the single back now. A 240-pound running back. Conley drops out. Reading pass. Throw it right down the middle, and he read it right but couldn't get to it as the ball is thrown to Gerard Daphnis, the tight end, and a first down up near the 40. The defensive secondary for Syracuse, Abrams, Bevel, the two corners pretty good. Not too big though. You've got to go 5'9", 5'9", 5'8", And obviously they'll be looking to match up those corners against those 6'4" wide receivers.
And those wide receivers of the Hurricanes, some of them, Jones and Yateel Green especially, can jump.
Tony Jones is unusually large for a free safety at 6'5".
A lot of Joneses around, huh?
Well, I tell you, 7 of them in the Miami team. This is Larry Jones carrying the ball. And Larry will have the ball at the 46 and a pickup of 6 on the play. Second down. Call it 3. Jones behind the line of scrimmage, but Dan Conley, a blitzing middle linebacker. Kid's a marvel to me. He truly, really is. From Carnegie, Pennsylvania.
49, upper right part of your picture. Blue jersey, sees it all the way. Is not as fast as he used to be, but still quick enough because once he sees and reads his keys, he gets there maybe a step quicker than a less experienced linebacker.
So the loss moves the ball back inside the 45 to the 44, and it's 3rd down and 5. Frank Costa gets his pass away, and the pass is incomplete and almost intercepted by Kevin Abram. He stepped in front of Jamie German and almost came out of there with the ball. And so the Syracuse defense grows more confident.
Take a look from behind the quarterback. This is a ground level. Costa looks left all the way. The ball is thrown a little late. That's why the defensive back, number 4 Abrams, gets around in front of the wide receiver. Poor timing there.
Dane threw it in for his second punt. This will be returned. Marvin Harrison, a wide receiver, comes back to the 40-yard line, and a penalty flag is thrown back inside the 30. Look out for blocking in the back. Illegal use of hand. 36-yard punt, 21-yard return, but I think that 21 yards is going to be damaged for the penalty. Yep. Get a lot of that these days, don't you? And it goes back to the rules change where they freed up the arm.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
And took away blocking below the waist, too. That added to it.
One of the things that the Orangemen need to do is get some yardage and some field position off of the special teams. This was a pretty good punt return, but it's going to be negated by the penalty.
All right, Roy Willis and Kirby Dardar set up in the backfield. And the ball is back at the 19-yard line, and Syracuse is backing up, losing because of mistakes here in the kicking game. But this is Kirby Dardar, who comes busting up the middle and finds enough daylight to get out of there and get it all the way to the 31. So he picks up a 1st down, and now the Orange have a little room. Brought down by C.J. Richardson.
Richardson back in the ball game after going out on that near interception a little earlier. This is the 8th start of Kevin Mason's career, the quarterback. Like you said, Keith, earlier, he waited 4 years behind Marvin Graves.
Dardar again, and again daylight in the middle, and another 1st down as he goes to the 44-yard line. What are they doing to Warren Sapp? Where are they finding the room in the middle? Getting past Sapp and Riley. And knocking him out of there.
Well, we'll show you, Keith. This time, nothing. Sapp is right over the center. Watches. Everybody's just going to straight block. Center, Woolaball is going to take Sapp on man for man. Right there. And he just gets a good block from the fullback. That's just straight blocking. And a nice job by that offensive line.
Malcolm Thomas is the tailback. First down from the 44. Thomas finds a little room over the left side. He's thrown down by Kennard Lang, but the throw by Lang was about a 4-yard throw, and it goes down as a gain. Got to throw him the other way.
Take a look at the offensive line. Willaball, that's Ellsworth. They're double teaming the over the nose tackle. Ledger 73 comes around. It ain't pretty. There's not a lot of room, but talking to George DeLeon yesterday, the offensive coordinator, he says, listen, you don't get big yardage against Miami. You got to be patient. You got to take 5- and 6-yard gains.
Second down and 7. There's your freeze option. Doesn't work too well. Dardar has to pick it up on the bounce. Coming back this way. He's got a convoy and a first down at the Miami 43-yard line. I thought that one might go.
Freeze option was to freeze the middle linebacker. Now, good defensive play by the linebacker on the outside. Now you're right, Keith. He's got a convoy. There's only one white shirt and a bunch of blue ones. That's Wilson, number 9, and he did a nice job of just holding things off until he had some help from his friends.
Malcolm Thomas is back in. Ball on the 43 of Miami. First down, Syracuse. Mason drops back to throw. Lets it go deep. And it is incomplete. Intended for Shimon Wilson. But he had 2 Hurricanes running right with him.
Yes, he did.
Number 9, Chad Wilson. Number 12, Carlos Jones.
That's the poison in this option offense. And the Hurricanes played it very well. You have to come up and play the option, play the toss man 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and then Pasqualoni and his offense all of a sudden is going to go for the big one, and there was 2 Hurricanes there covering him.
Actually, by the time the ball came down, Pearson had joined the party.
Yeah.
3. All right, Dardar is back in. It's second down and 10. Ball on the Miami 43. Dardar. Oh, there's some daylight in the middle of that line. They're running inside and outside of those tackles, and he's all the way down to the 30-yard line. Make it the 29.
Well, it's second down and 10. It's long yardage situations. The defensive end is going to come upfield. Now watch the tackle. Ledger is going to come this way. It's a tackle trap. They're running inside the end, and Ledger 73 is going to block the linebacker. Everybody else on the left side blocked down. They double team Sapp. Good running play.
Dardar has 54 yards. He's got the ball again, and he's got some pretty good pursuit on his back this time as a fellow named Lewis, number 52, comes streaking across the field to bring him down.
Keith, the plays that are working for the Orangemen are the ones that are going straight up the middle. Anything east and west where you have the speed of these linebackers, they're shutting it down pretty good.
And the first quarter is over, and the home folks like it. There is no score after the first 15 minutes, and the home team is threatening.
To look at the first quarter stats, Syracuse leads in plays and in first downs. The interesting thing right here, Syracuse rushing the football. 74 yards in the first quarter. Miami only averages in a whole game giving up 75 yards. They lead the conference and are 6th in the nation in rushing defense. Syracuse is doing what they wanted to do, and that is run the football.
They've been very stingy. Virginia Tech was what, minus 14 last week?
Yes, they were.
All right, Syracuse to the ball. It's second down and a little more than 10. You got Thomas in there, number 17. Dardar's in there, number 42. Here comes a reverse with Harrison. And he's inside the 20. First down for Syracuse.
Nice call by the Orangemen. George DeLeon, the offensive coordinator. Again, they had some time to prepare. They had last week off, and then they played. They had a week off before the Temple game. De Leon said they had to throw out about 1/3 of their offense because of the speed and quickness of Ericsson's defense. They're the coaches for Syracuse, but they eliminated some things and put in a few choice things to take advantage of that speed.
First down at the 19 of Miami. Syracuse has been threatening all along. This is Dardar again running inside, and Ray Lewis takes off his helmet, and he is just jumping up and down. He wants the whole club. What's going on? And they're running right through there. The ball is at the 14 now, and a pickup on the play of 5.
There you go.
That's what he's talking about.
That's right. He got tackled by Willaball, the center. It's hard to run with a guy hanging on your leg.
Yes, it is. That's like concrete boots going running. Mason behind the line of scrimmage. It's Burgess, number 54, that penetrated and got him. And there will be a loss back to about the 19-yard line. A loss of 5, and you'll be looking at 3rd down and 10.
Anything wide is not working. The option, it's too slow. There's too much speed for Miami. Burgess 54 blitz that time. The things that are working are the plays inside or that misdirection play like the reverse.
North and south. Ascaloni wants a timeout, so Paul will bring his offensive unit to the sidelines with 13 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the half. They're looking at 3rd and 10, and he is looking for a score. All right, Syracuse moving down here. They were down to the 14. They've been forced back to near the 19. They've had the ball now for 10 plays in this current possession. Number 88, the tight end. Tight ends always seem to be part of the Syracuse offense. He has not seen the ball.
Miami leads the nation in pass defense, and Syracuse is not very good throwing it.
They got the tight end out there wide this time. They flexed him out about 7-8 yards. He's going down the middle. They throw it out there to Dardar instead. And he won't get to the 1st down marker. But he did get down to about the 12-yard line, and they are certainly within reach of the field goal try.
It's a nice call. If you're not a good passing team, and as I mentioned, Syracuse is last in the conference throwing the football, you throw a safe little screen to your running back with a lineman out in front of him, give him a chance to pick it up, and if not, maybe you can get on the scoreboard first.
And here they come. Number 19, Olinda Mare is out there.
Their field goal kicking hasn't been real good this year. Only 2 of 6.
This youngster has a powerful leg, but he has not been all that accurate. He's 1 out of 3 so far. He took over the place kicking from Reale.
Play the game. Offense.
So Syracuse burns the clock 5 yards, and that'll back him up 5, and it won't bother him a lot, I don't think. Probably even give him a better angle at it. Probably did it on purpose, because we watched him yesterday in practice, and he was hitting the ball well beyond 50 yards.
I don't know, guys. These field goal kickers, some of them, like I said, they haven't been very successful. Murray's 1 of 3, and Reale was 1 of 3, and
Mason's holding. Kevin Mason. It's up. Folks down there say it's good, and so do the officials. And Syracuse takes the lead against Miami with 12:09 to play in the 1st half. It was November 21, 1992, Miami at Syracuse. Syracuse quarterback Marvin Graves leading the Orangemen down to the Miami 23 on the final play of the game. Tight end Chris Getney stopped at the 3. Miami wins 16-10.
And don't think that these Hurricanes don't remember those things, Keith.
They won big a year ago down in Florida. Like I said, the building is part of the story.
The last time they were here, they had problems.
Murray will kick it off, and Jamie German and Al Shipman are deep for the Hurricanes. Knuckleball, tough to handle, gets past him and goes beyond the field of play and will come out to the 20. He gets some whip on the ball. That thing came skittering down there. It looked like a Wilhelm specialty.
Like a shot. Oh, what has Miami done? The first 3 times out of the box, they've had an interception and 2 punts. But look at the plays. 4 plays and out, 3, and then 4 again. Starting position has not been very good, and it's not good on this drive.
Stewart is the single back. Big James is back in there. 3 wide outs. This is no place to be changing your play at the line of scrimmage. Stewart running outside. Down at the 20. You're not going to do any of that check with me stuff at the line of scrimmage in this building. This week, ABC's Monday Night Football will be in Dallas as Emmitt Smith and the Super Bowl champion Cowboys host their NFC Eastern Division rival, the New York Giants. Monday at 9 here on ABC's Monday Night Football.
There's a look at Norm Gerber. He was telling me yesterday that the thing he wants to do is stop the Miami running game. Stop the running game and take away the big plays. Force them to be patient to move the ball down the field. He stopped the running game pretty well so
4
far.
wideouts out of the shotgun. Pass is completed. Pass is caught by A.C. Tellison. And he's taken down at the 27-yard line. Tellison's another one of those big wideouts at 6'2", 212. This time a free safety named Jones, 6'5", 207, took him down.
Miami has a lot of depth at the wide receiver position. And they say the younger ones are better than the older ones, the veterans. So it's going to be nothing but good receivers for Erickson for the next few years.
3rd down and 2. Stewart back in. Stewart's got it. And the first down. Dropped at the 37. The Orangemen are not timid about going after Stewart. As a matter of fact, they know that you got to be pretty sure for one man to take him down. So they send 2 and 3 and sometimes yell for 4.
Keith, in a situation talking about checking off, if you do want to check off or think about it, you can't act like you're checking off. You can't move your head one side or the other because the fans will see you doing it. So if you do check off, do it kind of nonchalantly.
First down at the 37. Costa pumps and lets it go, and it's in the seats.
Trying to get a hook and go out there on Bevel, the defensive back. Greg Smith, the offensive line coach, doing a good job, and Rich Olson, the offensive coordinator, trying to get something big. Syracuse is doing a good job, Keith, of substituting 5 guys at a time. They'll go from their regular package to a nickel package, 6 defensive backs and better pass rushers in the game, which they have now.
Back to the 4 wideouts for the Canes on 2nd down and 10. Costa's pass caught. First down, midfield. Make it the 49-yard line of Syracuse as Chris T. Jones, 6'4" and 210, reels it in.
This Miami offense in the past years, Keith, has been heavy to the passing game. They've had quarterbacks that have, whenever you use a 1-back, 3-wide receiver, maybe 4-wide receiver offense, the quarterback better be good at getting the ball to those people. If you're not consistent at that position, you're going to have problems, and that's why Erickson has gone to more of a running game this year.
27 catches now for Chris T. Jones on the season. The crowd jumps on him right now.
Yeah.
Give it to Stewart. And James Stewart now, as the offensive front blew a hole for him, rambles on down to the Syracuse 37-yard line and a first down. While we catch our breath here and they move the chains, remind you there are 7 Joneses on the Miami roster.
And the starting free safety for Syracuse is Tony Jones. So Jones may be covering Jones.
First down from the Orange 37. Miami starting to move it a little bit now. First real movement they've had with the ball. Costa looks and goes to the corner, and
Jump ball.
It is incomplete. It was Yatil Green at 6'3", matched up against Kevin Abrams, the quarterback, at 5'9", and Green couldn't make the catch.
You're right. As advertised, Green is a good leaper. He caught a ball against Virginia Tech last week.
Should have caught that.
Just didn't catch it. Yep. They had what they wanted.
Yep.
18 Jones there is 6'5". He's the free safety. They had him out of it. But you know, you do that maybe 3 or 4 times a game, Keith. You're going to catch half of it.
2nd down and 10. That'll be offside. Syracuse defender trying to anticipate the snap and got caught in the neutral zone.
Offside. Defense, illegal contact. 5-yard penalty.
Danielle Ferguson, number 1, is in the backfield now. He is a running back for Miami. And here comes the 5-player substitution again for Syracuse defense, and here's Swanee.
Well, Keith, if I'm not mistaken, it seems like every time that Miami audibilizes, they go to a running play, which seems to be logical, because if you're going to audibilize, the backs and the offensive linemen can hear you, the receivers can't. Keith?
Ferguson is the single back here, way deep. He goes a yard deeper than Stewart. Not as big, but quicker, and gets inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Well, you've been hung out there a few times, Swanee, when you knew the quarterback had called an audible and you couldn't hear him. It's a difficult position to be put in because you've got to keep looking to see where he is.
What'd you do, Swanee, when they checked off and you didn't know what was going on?
Well, what I did was I looked in at the ball and just to see whether it was going to be a running play or a passing play.
And if it was a pass play?
Then I ran something somewhere. I looked for an open spot.
Raise your hand and go.
Larry Jones is the single back. He's got the ball. And the Orangemen have him short of the line of scrimmage. Or no more than the line of scrimmage, and certainly short of the first down. It was 3rd down and about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. And the Orange stacked it up, led by that little corner, Bryce Bevel.
And number 50 on the outside is Antoine Pons. Number 3, Bevel, is the corner, Keith, the small corner that we were talking about. He comes up. He's pretty good physical. He may not come make the tackle. Hurricanes are going for him.
Canes going on 4th down and 2. Larry Jones gets it. So a little bit of old jawbone football there. I'm coming, you try to stop me.
I think that's a good call by Erickson. It was kind of long for a field goal. You need to get him in there. You want to be physical. You think you can run the football.
They'll bring the chains out. Our angle looked from here as if you might have it. I don't know.
From that angle, I don't know if he had it or not.
Yeah, I don't either. Didn't make it. Didn't make it. Didn't make it. Nope. 10 plays and no points.
'77 is Lumelski, 66 Simonette. But it's the defensive guys we should be talking about. This defense, not a lot of respect coming into the ball game. They're 86th in the nation in total defense. They're not playing like that this afternoon.
It'll be Malcolm Thomas and Terry Morris lined up behind Kevin Mason now. Will Walker is that number 7 wide at the bottom of the picture there. Mason hands it to Malcolm Thomas, and he'll have a yard maybe. Now let's go to John Saunders.
Keith, the Rose Bowl picture is pretty muddled right now. USC and Washington State, each still with a shot at it. Rob Johnson here to Keyshawn Johnson for the touchdown. They lead 7-3. Oregon also in the running, and they lead Arizona State 7-0. Keith.
Washington State would have to win out in that Pac-10 because they beat Oregon.
Thought it was snowing up there in Pullman.
Yeah. That's just propaganda. Trying to scare the Trojans. This is Thomas. And he's out for the 33-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and about 6. Thomas got away from Kenny Holmes to pick up that gain. 3rd down, make it 3rd down and 4. Put the ball at the 33-yard line.
Mason looking at his wristband there. Sometimes they just single in a number, and then he just looks at the corresponding play next to that number. Makes it a little quicker.
Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 4. Throws it quickly, throws it sharply, and completes it for a 1st down. The ball caught by Marvin Harrison. Mark it at the 44-yard line. Clemson beat North Carolina today in the ACC.
A couple of shockers in the ACC, huh?
I would think Syracuse confidence is growing. Orange lead Miami 3-0 with 5:40 to play in the 1st half. Option down the line. It is a good pitch to Thomas. He cuts it back into traffic and picks up 3 yards on the play. Tomorrow on ABC Sports, 3 Eastern and 2 Central, the world's elite distance runners, along with thousands more, will be running in the Big Apple for the 25th New York City Marathon, not shown in the New York area. Then the deciding round of the Lincoln Mercury Kapalua International, and Bob Gilder is leading 11 under. Robert, he gets over there in those islands, and he always plays well.
I love just watching, just to see the views.
Oh, he's normal. Long hitter from Oregon gets over there in Hawaii, and he's tough. Kevin Mason got away from the pursuit and actually got around the corner and put it on the Miami side of the field. Number 96, Kennard Lang, pursued him all the way across the field and just couldn't quite catch him.
It's Rohan Marley, the outside linebacker, hurt last week. Hurt his knee, out for the season, hopes to be back for a bowl game.
He tore the ligament, didn't he?
The medial collateral, and no surgery was needed.
Dardar is back in at tailback. 3rd down and 3. Pitch it to Kirby, and he won't get the 1st down. Ray Lewis, 52, and there's one other Hurricane over there that put the lick on him. It would be Richardson, number 19.
Yeah. Even though the Hurricanes and Ray Lewis, number 52, have the speed to run sideline to sideline, this is what Syracuse does. This is what they are, and this is what they do best. They are not going to go away from their option, and it's kept them in the ball game. They've punted the ball. It's kept the ball away from Miami, and it's working for them, and that's what De Leon said. We're going to do what we are.
3-0. Syracuse leading at 4 minutes to go in the 1st half. Reality punt. German is deep. First kick by Sean today was the 55-yarder into the end zone. Play clock expired, so they'll back them up 5. That's the 2nd time they've burned it. They burned it on the field goal, but I thought that was on purpose. This one I don't think was. Paul Pasqualoni, Dennis Erickson. Ascaloni, an Easterner out of Penn State. Dennis Erickson, a Westerner out of Montana State. Good punt. Back to the 6. And they've got him short of the 15. Jamie German's taken down at about the 13-yard line. 3:32 to go in the first half. The University of Miami has not had a starting point of a possession past their own 20-yard line in this entire first half. This one will be at the 12-yard line.
Yep. It's not easy on the road, especially when you're on the road in a dome and it's very loud.
James Stewart is the single back. Over the middle, ball is tipped. Look out, intercepted. Bevel has it. Bevel back to the 11-yard line.
It's going to be play action right in here. But watch the linebacker. He's going to get in the lane and tip the ball. They've run this play before with some success. Play action, trying to hold him. This time Conley sees it. Conley makes the play. Great field position for Syracuse. You know what they're trying to do when you've been around as long as Conley has. You know that play action fake. You know it's going to come right over your head. Nice play.
Robinson fullback, Dardar tailback, I formation. Wilson is wide left. The offensive line surge is quite good. Move that ball down to about the 6-yard line, so they pick up 6 on first down. Dardar carrying.
Keith, the Hurricanes keep a chart on sudden change, meaning after a turnover, it's a challenge to their defense to go in and stop the other team from scoring. This is a severe test for them. They have done very well in that sudden change category.
You got Thomas checking in as they go to the wishbone set. Give it to the fullback, Robinson. Nothing there for that. The middle guys just jumped all over him. At the conclusion of the ball game today, we'll have the Chevrolet Most Valuable Players. It'll be the 24th season, or is the 24th season, that genuine Chevrolet Players of the Game have been chosen, with each university receiving $1,000 for the General Scholarship Fund at the respective university.
Syracuse needs 7. They should not be content with just 3 points here.
3rd down and 4. I think they got the Canes on either contact or at least in the neutral zone. They needed 3rd down and 4 if it's offsides. Miami's arguing somebody moved along the offensive front.
The defensive lineman jumped, and then an offensive lineman also jumped.
Dead ball. Encroachment on the offense.
So the offensive lineman responded as the defender jumps across. You'll see it.
See, the Miami man jumps, but he doesn't touch anybody, so he can get back. Then the offensive man jumps, and that's why it's on the offense. If the defensive man would have touched somebody,
then it's offside.
And it's offside on the defense.
Go back up Syracuse 5 and make it 3rd down and 9 as the ball comes back to the 11. And they're working out of the shotgun, so this leads pass. Nope. Hand the ball off to Robinson, the fullback. And he tries to slide between the guard and center and pop it where the linebackers weren't, and it didn't work.
You got a few boos coming around, and again, it goes back to Syracuse. We're going to do what we are. We are not a passing team. Our offensive linemen going against the best pass rushing team maybe in the nation. We're not going to get in that situation. Pasqualoni said, I'll settle for 3.
Murray hit a 35-yarder earlier in the quarter to make it 3-0. The ball is down. Mason holding, drilled into the screen. Good. So it becomes 6-0 Syracuse at 58 seconds to play in the first half. Murray will kick it off. And here are your deep people. It's Shipman 32 and German 7. And coming up on the Prudential halftime report, John Saunders with scores and highlights and a conversation with Notre Dame's head coach Lou Holtz, who's been deep in the magic potion, getting ready for Florida State down in Orlando.
He's had an off week this week. He played Navy last week, and then he had a week open before that. He should be good and ready.
High hanger, 5-yard line. Shipman, look out. He gets some daylight. You just keep looking at his hip pocket, but they're able to get him at about the 22-yard line. Donovan Darris down to make the tackle.
Ball brought out from the 5-yard line.
Last few years we've been coming up here, Keith, Syracuse and Pasqualoni in particular have always had good special teams. They're showing it here this afternoon.
Costa, as he comes up for the snap at center, is 4 out of 9, 48 yards, and he's been picked twice. 6-0 Syracuse with 54 seconds remaining in the half. Out of the shotgun, Costa steps up, wants to go deep, and they sack him. Back at the 19. Wilkie Bazile from Spring Valley, New York, fought his way through to bring him down.
Bazile, really, number 70 in the middle of your screen. If you're going to get a sack out of Syracuse, this is the man. Working in Simonette, number 66. Right there, he fights and twists. That's his 8th sack of the year.
And we've got 45 seconds remaining in the half. Timeout. All right, the Syracuse crowd coming up, trying to help their defensive team. It's 2nd down and 13 for Miami at their own 20. Costa's out of the shotgun with 4 wideouts. Going deep down the sidelines, and it is incomplete. Kevin Abrams covering Yatil Green on the play. Abrams is a tough kid, you know that?
He is. Twice they've gone after the little guy. He's
right.
5'9", 159. Norm Gerber, the defensive coordinator, was telling me a little bit. He says, you know, we've been working. We know they're going to throw it up there for a jump ball, but we've been working on positioning. Our defensive backs trying to get position and time our jumps, and so far, so good.
3rd down and 13. Goes down the middle. This time, pass is caught by A.C. Tellison and has a 1st down. They'll give his mark near the 35. Cornhuskers score 45 on the Jayhawks and win rather easily. Well, we did find out last week that you can roller skate in the Buffalo.
Yes, we did, didn't we?
Costa takes off, nothing but green in front of it, has a 1st down. And finally, Dan Conley gets a chance to put a pad on him and does. But he's got a big gain out of the play across midfield.
The defense of Syracuse, the defensive backs has looked at Conley. Looks like he may be hurt a little bit. But the defense, a prevent. The 3 deep were 30 yards downfield, and the linebackers underneath were dropping off.
Remember, Conley had arthroscopy, a 10th probe into the knees to repair smooth out some cartilage and remove scar tissue October 11. Not very long ago.
It's from the left side. There's Conley right there, 49. Doesn't seem to be anything with the knees. May have just dinged his head a little bit, maybe his neck.
No, it's knees. has to come out.
You got to love this.
Taken for him.
You got to love this kid. 6th year, 10 surgical procedures, 2 major, and only 8 arthroscopic
He's
surgery.
interior design major.
Yes, he is.
I told him if he ever wanted to run for Congress, call him. Guy with that kind of determination. Whew. All right, the ball's at the 48-yard line. 1st down and 10, 19 seconds. And Costas throws the ball down. And you've got 15 seconds now. And you got a moment for him to look to the sidelines and get a play. And the play will come in with number 6, Trent Jones.
Can't take their time because it's not a timeout. It's just a incomplete pass. Miami has 1 timeout. They're trying to save it for a completion inside on the inside of the field and a field goal attempt. They get some points. It would be a big boost for them at half.
They've got trips at the bottom of your picture there. It's 3 receivers. Costas goes deep. And it is incomplete. And the man that he was looking for fell down. Yatil Green. He was covered by Bryce Bevel. They got tangled up, and there is no flag.
This is the mismatch again. Green is 6'3" and a jumper. Bevel's 5'9". They're both looking back for the ball, and I think that is a good no call.
Yep. I would agree.
These corners know that they were going to try and throw those alley-oop. They've tried it 4 times now, have not succeeded yet.
3rd and 10 from the Syracuse 48. Costas lets it fly, going for the end zone. No. This time, it is Rod Gadsden, the nickelback, that makes the play. And the half is over. And Syracuse leads Miami at halftime 6-0.
It seems Miami's offense the last couple of weeks, passing-wise, have depended too much on an alley-oop pass.
And besides that, he appeared to be past the line of scrimmage when he threw it. But the half is over.
The story, he was involved in both interceptions. Let me show you on the telestrator. The running play right here, but Conley is right here. Now watch the play action pass. They tried to get the ball to Stewart, faked it to him. Conley sees it. He tips the ball up in the air, and Bevel, the corner, is going to come back and make the interception. Conley was involved in the first interception. Actually, he actually did intercept the football. So.
Number 21, James Pruitt will kick off for Miami.
So it's the Miami offense that is sputtering. And let's see what happens. It's only 6-0, however. So it's hardly a time for panic yet among the Canes. In the last 99 games, you see, the Syracuse Orangemen have been pretty successful when they were leading at halftime.
The thing that's happened is that the crowd is in this ball game, the thing we talked about at the opening.
Can't check off. Can't change things at the line of scrimmage with any degree of success. The ball is knocked into the end zone and will come out to the 20-yard line for Syracuse.
Here's a look at the numbers in the first half. Syracuse rushing yards 105. That's key because it keeps Miami off the field. 130 yards of total offense to 119. The 2 turnovers have stopped 2 of the Miami drives, both interceptions, and it led to 3 points for Syracuse. Miami has had the ball 6 possessions. Excuse me, Syracuse had it 5 times, and they scored on their 3rd and 5th time, and they had a couple of pretty good drives of 10 and 12 plays.
Great field position in the main. We had offsides on the kickoff, so it looks like they want them to come back and do it again. The Miami offense beleaguered somewhat, not only by the crowd and in the building, Bob, but by their own field position, which has been so poor.
It has been poor. Their average starting position has been their own 18-yard line. Right here, and Syracuse has been the beneficiary of some good special teams play. Good coverage, good punting. They've started at their own 44.
Casullo is the special teams coach, and he really gets into the ball game. Bounding up and down the sidelines, rooting them on. All right, they kick it from the 30, and it's a high hanger caught at the 10-yard line by Kirby Dardar. And he can't get outside. They'd have been better off with taking the ball out at the 20 as Earl Little comes flying down the field to make the tackle. Now let's spend a moment with Lynn Swann.
Well, Keith, talking to the Syracuse sideline, the coaching staff at halftime, we're absolutely correct. During the breaks, they did change some of their offensive blocking schemes for the option and their inside play. They will continue to do the same thing. On the defensive side, Syracuse is trying to match up people for people, and that substitution that you talked about, Bob, is so important. Then, in those different packages, they're going to be extraordinarily aggressive trying to create the turnover. Keith?
This is the worst starting point for Syracuse in the entire ball game. It's back on the 13-yard line where it's 1st and 10, and Dardar is the tailback and has the ball. Looks into the middle, and this time there is no daylight. None. Kennard Lang celebrating a little bit.
Syracuse leaders of the first half. Mason only threw it 5 times for 25 yards. Dardar had 63 yards rushing and not much passing for the Orangemen.
Pat Riley, number 43, was very evident on that last play, too. He's been kind of contained, but he made the penetration that last time. It's 2nd down and 10. Mason's got a major problem trying to outrun it and can't. Lang takes him out of bounds. And he makes a second successive play, and the Syracuse offense is stalled with a goal line at its back.
Right over the center, that's going to be Riley, number 43. You hear so much about Sapp, but look at Riley. He's 6'5" and about 293 pounds, and the quickness. The option was supposed to go to the right side. There was no chance, and the flow and the speed of the defense catches up. This defense for Miami is trying to light a fire under the offense. Its own offense. 3rd down and about 8. Mason gets the ball off. The ball is thrown just as far as he could throw it, and it is incomplete. That is now you get a penalty flag. The call goes against C.J. Richardson, defending Marvin Harrison. That was close. The back judge didn't call it. He's in the center of the field. It was the side judge who is on the side of the field. Had a little bit better view of it.
15-yard penalty and a 1st down.
To the left, there is the side judge. There's Richardson, 19. Yeah, I think he touched him a little bit. You know, Richardson never saw the ball, and I looked at the end. He finally knocked it down, but he did touch him before he knocks it down.
When he put his arm across his chest there, that's
right there. That's what you can't do.
Good call.
It's a nice call. And it's a proper call for the side judge and not the back judge, because the back judge was blocked off. He couldn't see that.
Moved the ball out to the 30. That's only the 2nd Miami penalty in the ball game. It's 1st down for Syracuse. Ball is handed off to Dardar. And the Canes are kind of looking for Kirby here to start the 2nd half of play. He had a good deal of success against him in the 1st half. Not so far in the 2nd half. The 3 linebackers are Corwin Francis, Ray Lewis in the middle, and James Burgess on the outside. You see Pat Riley, 43, running around there. He is a defensive tackle. It's unusual. You see a guy hunkered down on the defensive line wearing 43. He's right shoulder to shoulder with Warren Sapp.
It tells you he played a different position and just grew into that number.
Yep.
I mean,
right.
That size, that's double XL.
At least.
That's right.
Kevin Mason pitches the ball off to Kirby Dardar, and it's good for about another 5 yards. That's good quick thinking and alertness on the part of Dardar to catch the ball.
And a nice play by Mason to keep it alive. And on the defensive side, Lewis sees the man coming. The tackle stops the second, knows he has the speed to catch up, and Mason tried to keep it alive.
Third down and 4 for the Orange. They lead 6-0 over Miami. Here's your option to Dardar, and nothing cooking on this one, folks. Kenny Holmes was in the backfield and just simply waiting.
Yep.
Mason been better off to have kept the ball.
Well, it's what George DeLeon said yesterday. He says we're going to do what we do best, and that's the option. If we look bad, we're still going to run it. We're going to try and make. But the outside option is not getting anywhere. It's the inside stuff that's been working, at least in the first half. Miami corrected and looked very good on that first possession, second half.
It's a very simple matter of fact of life when you're playing against the Miami Hurricanes. East-West won't get it. You're going to run it, you're going to run it north and south. Sean Reale is in the punt, 55 and 46 on the first two today. Third quarter of play. Gets it out of there. Ball is fielded by German. And he's covered quite well by Syracuse. Back around the 32-yard line on a 42-yard punt. James Stewart, the single back. Frank Costa comes out at quarterback, trips to the bottom, or as you look at it, the left side of the picture. And let's see if they pop it on the first one. They go underneath it, pitch it off to Jonathan Harris. And they're in a melee on the sidelines.
Late hit and a flag, Keith.
Not much room on the sideline for this building. Personal foul. It's against Syracuse.
Here's a look at the first half possessions. Miami had it 6 times. They had 2 interceptions and turned it over on downs on. But look at the field position where they started. Nothing pretty about that stat. And are these Costa 5 of 14 and 2 interceptions. Stewart leads the rushers with 8 for 33. Tellison 2 receptions, 23 yards. Defensive leaders, Conley, the middle linebacker, 6 tackles, 1 interception, and he caused an interception.
Costa pitches to Stewart. Got a hold. And picks up right at 10 yards on the carry. So good blocking going around that left corner that time.
Miami has had some good plays, Keith. They haven't had any big plays, which Norv Gerber, the defensive coordinator, wanted to do. Take away their big plays, and he wanted to stop their running game. He stopped it pretty well, but Miami is self-destructed. They move it for a while, then they stop themselves.
Second and a short yard. Costa looks downfield, goes down the middle, and it is incomplete. It was intended for Gerard Daphnis, and Tony Jones broke it up.
Daphnis is on the left side of the screen. He's the tight end. He's going to come straight down the field. Costas is going to wait a little bit too long. The safety sees it and broke it up. That could have been picked off.
Coming up on 3rd and 1, and the big man just thunders up the middle and gets the first down.
James Stewart, 28. Stopped by Chris Marks.
Here's a look at the Orangemen defense in the nation. Look at the bottom there. They're 86th in total defense. There's only 106 teams, but they're playing like one of the best here today. There's Norm Gerber. Was with Dick McPherson with the Patriots a couple years ago.
First down just inside the 40. Costa goes to Harris. And Conley makes the tackle at about the 34-yard line. Tomorrow, an hour of America's Funniest Videos. Special guest Kenny Rogers. Then the magical event of the season. Special hour with Siegfried and Roy, followed by the network premiere of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, starring Rebecca De Mornay. Tomorrow night here on ABC. Much was made of Miami's average time for their 29 touchdown drives this season, about 2.5 minutes. That has not been the case today. 6-0, Syracuse still leading with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter as Costa steps up and has time, throws, and again, he is lucky to get it back. And now you get a flag thrown by the back judge. He can see this play, and he throws the flag. The pass intended for Green, defended by Abrams. It's pass interference.
Let's go bottom right. Let's go to slant pattern. Hard to tell.
Kind of like basketball, though, Bob. If you're behind him going over the top, you're going to get called.
And especially if you hit him before the ball gets there, obviously. Here's what we're talking about. I think this is one of the reasons Miami is frustrated. 29 touchdown drives this year have taken an average of 6 plays, and in the time of possession of those drives, only 2.5 minutes. That's what Syracuse is doing. They're frustrating him. They're making him take their time. They're making him be patient.
7 penalties, 58 yards on the Orange so far. Give the ball to Stewart, trying to get around the corner. Can't do it. Number 50, Antoine Pond. Got a little help from Kevin Abrams. And they take him out right about the line of scrimmage, which is just inside the 20.
And when Miami gets inside the 20, which has been 24 times, they've scored 22 of those 24 times, 17 touchdowns. 92% of the time they score. That's pretty good.
The crowd is listed at 49,563. Sounds like more, doesn't it? Costa goes to the end zone again, and he misses. The pass intended for Chris T. Jones, who has caught 27 balls on the year. And it wasn't close.
It's not all Costas' fault either. The receivers have to bear some of it. They're just not getting open. And part of it is the frustration of the defense they're going against. They like to score quickly, Miami does. They like the quick strike. They're known for that. They have not been able to do it. They're going against zones. Nobody's doing anything. They're just taking away big plays.
3rd and 10. Tellison. First down, 1st and goal at the 4. So he goes to the senior out of Bay City, Texas for the big play.
He's over here in the slot, Keith. He's just going to go down and break to the inside. Watch the defenders as they're all just going to back up. They're not going to cover anybody man to man. They're just kind of play deep, play the quarterback's eyes. It's a nice job by Costa.
Ball is on the 4-yard line, 1st down and goal. Stewart, a yard.
Ryan Collins comes in sometimes in these situations for the Hurricanes.
Ed Hobson made the tackle, the nose guard, number 94 from Roosevelt, New York. Ball is on the 3.
So look at Collins. He's different skills. A bit better rollout. 9 plays, 65 yards. Miami spreads him out again.
Stewart, touchdown, Miami.
It's a nice drive for Miami coming out the beginning of the second half. Talked about some things, probably Dennis Erickson told him, listen, we're going to try to be patient and move it down. They put the receivers to our left, and they run it to our right with Stewart. He missed a couple of games because of a sprained ankle.
Main Pruitt for the extra point now. The holder is Mike Chrissy, the punter, who tore a groin muscle. He's out to the end of the season for that.
It's all right to hold, though.
The extra point try is good. And the Miami Hurricanes, with 8:44 to go in the third quarter, have gone to the lead 7-6. CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet. The cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. And De Beers, a diamond is forever. 10 plays, 68 yards, and the lead for the Miami Hurricanes. And Pruitt now will kick it off. Dardar and Jim Turner are back waiting for it for Syracuse. Comes Turner. Across the 30. That's one.
Well, Keith, you're talking about how well Miami's playing the option for Syracuse. They had a little help this week. On their scout team, number 5, who's a wide receiver, was an option quarterback in high school, and he's got some very, very excellent speed. So all week long, he ran the option for the Hurricanes to get them ready for Syracuse. Looks like he got them in great position, Keith.
All right, Swanee. Kirby Dardar is the man shaken up on the play and being attended to on the field. Returning kicks is a dangerous profession. But he's all right. He's grinning.
42 to the right side of the screen. That's Dardar. Oh, look out. Yeah, you hate to see that, but he's up and walking around. But that was close.
Okay. So put the ball on the 32-yard line for the Orange now, and let's see how they respond to losing the lead after holding it for more than a half. About 2.5 quarters, they had the lead. Malcolm Thomas will be your tailback. Edmund Robinson is the fullback. Kevin Mason pulls the trigger. Wants the throw, goes short. Pass is intercepted. Intercepted by number 9, Chad Wilson, who stepped in front of Marvin Harrison.
This is the first time that Syracuse has gone outside their personality. We mentioned they're an option team, and that's what they run. Drop back pass right here, first down. They throw an out pattern to the left side. And Chad Wilson picks off his second pass of the year.
Syracuse people on the sidelines were hollering he didn't make a clean catch.
And they're right. He did not catch that ball. He did not catch that ball. It hit the ground.
Well, they own it. First down at the 46. James Stewart is the single back. And he takes it across the 40. 7 yards on the carry.
Go back and take one more look. Good protection. This ball is going to go right through his arms. Right there on the ground. The official right there. Look at the official. Couldn't see it because he was blocked off by the receiver for Syracuse.
You got another Syracuse man hurt. It's Antoine Pons, who came into the ball game, a redshirt freshman out of Jacksonville, dinged up. And you've got a timeout taken right now for Antoine. Antoine Pons was helped off the field. Kevin Mason is on the sidelines after having been intercepted. Miami has the football, second down and 4. It's just inside the Syracuse 40. Field position in the second half, opposite of what it was in the first half. Costa, ball is tipped. Ball is tipped. That is not a lateral. That's an incomplete forward pass. Scott Freeney was the defensive lineman or outside linebacker that got his hands on it for Syracuse. So it was not a lateral pass.
No,
Some people seem to think it was, but it wasn't.
But it's poor timing. It's a poor play, because if you're going to throw that, you have to have a lineman getting on the defensive end, Freeney,
Otherwise, he steps in
and get his hand down. Watch this. If you're going to throw this ball, you got to get the man's hands down. 77 is sitting back. You got to fire out. That's Lemelski. You got to get his hands down, or else you're going to get the ball knocked up in the air and it's going to get picked off. That's poor coordination.
Ferguson is the single back. Blitz from the corner. Ferguson inside, close to the first down. Number 9, Rod Gadsden, a nickelback, was blitzing from the outside and got there a little late. And they'll bring the chains on.
Gadsden, number 9, and Jamie German, number 7, for the Hurricanes, went to Fort Lauderdale High School. Not Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers High School together. German was the wide receiver, and Gadsden was the quarterback. They called each other, talked to each other each week, and they had some good conversations this week talking about this one.
Just short.
It is fourth down.
Fourth and about a foot. Here comes Derek Harris, an extra tight end. Here comes Saeed Tucker, another tight end. Saeed was a starter a year ago. Got hurt. Deafness won the job. You got James Stewart in, so all the big guys are out there going fourth and a foot.
This is the elephant team right here.
Costa keeps it, and he's got the first down. Put the ball at the 35, first down for the Canes. They lead 7-6 with 7:23 to play in the third quarter. Stewart right up the middle. Picked up 9 on the play, and we jump over to John Saunders.
Keith, in the Pac-10, USC and Washington State. Rob Johnson hooks up once again with Keyshawn Johnson. They missed the point after. 13-3, Trojans with the lead. And Oregon against Arizona State, leading it by 10 at halftime. Keith.
Thank you, sir. 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Miami trying to build a lead here now. They lead by 1 point. Go to Stewart. Pops it over that. He's free. Touchdown, Hurricane. 27-yard touchdown run by James Stewart.
He's got the speed. He's 6'3" and 235. Terrell Green, number 51, is going to pull and get a block on Abrams. He's got 4.3 speed with all that size and weight. 16 carries, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Stewart.
Not a good idea to be doing finger pointing, however. When you go to the next level, somebody will take it home with them. The extra point try is good. And the Miami Hurricanes here in the third quarter have bounced back now to take a 14-6 lead over the Syracuse Orangemen. An interception, a turnover, put the ball on the Syracuse end of the field, and the Canes stuck it in the end zone on a 27-yard run. And next Saturday, starting at 12 noon Eastern Time, Notre Dame and Florida State out of Orlando. Then the second games about the country will include these: Penn State at Illinois, Alabama and Mississippi State, Baylor and Rice, Arizona and USC. Arizona USC, another very big ball game in the Pac-10 Rose Bowl chase.
Yep. Let's go back can take a look at one of the biggest plays on that last drive for Miami. It got it started. The interception by Chad Wilson that really wasn't. Watch the ball hit the ground right there. But you know, Keith, you go through a game or a season, you're going to get some good calls and bad calls. You have to overcome the bad ones.
Balances out.
Yeah, it does.
Turner at the 7. Almost lost the ball.
Yep.
Canes arguing they got it, but the referee. Oh, you go. Once again, here's Lynn.
Keith, linebacker Antoine Pound for Syracuse was on the sideline. It took most of the time on the sideline just to take off the tape and the knee brace to get to his knee to check it out. Once they did, they determined he was okay. They took him into the locker room to retape it, but he is literally taped from his ankles, the bottom of his feet, all the way up to beyond his knee to protect that right knee, Keith.
Sure. Tough business. Malcolm Thomas is the tailback now behind Robinson. Option down the line. Mason kept it and turned it all the way to the 39-yard line.
See, now they're back to what they do best.
And Mason's hurt. Larry Tiger, a redshirt freshman, is listed behind him at quarterback. Keith Downing is listed number 3, but it's Downing popped up.
Yeah, they said either one of them could go in. Yeah. It's the problem with the option offense is the quarterback takes a lot of hits.
So it'll be Downing coming in.
Take a look at the option. Fullback gets a block. There's a huge hole there. He's getting hit low, high, in the air. Don't ever go in the air.
No, it's 54 that does most of the damage, though. James Burgess squeezed the air out of him when he drove him into the ground.
He's a good kid, though. He didn't whine. He waited his turn. He learned from Marvin Graves. Some people around here think that he's got a stronger arm and that he's faster and running the option better. They think he's better than Marvin. He just hasn't had the opportunity to play as much.
All right, Keith Downing is into the ball game. 6'3", 196. He's a redshirt freshman out of Fairport, New York. I think you'll see Mason back shortly, but Downing's out there right now with the first down at the 39-yard line. Miami leading 14-6. Handed off to Malcolm Thomas. And again, there is good offensive line work by Syracuse for a pickup of 6 yards. And here comes Mason back.
Mason came into the game with a string of 77 straight completions without an interception. That goes back 3 games. Very efficient passer. The
25-second clock shows 0.
False start.
False start is the call, however. Paul Pasqualoni. If there is anything I would like to see, I'd like to see him smile more. He is so intense. My goodness.
He loves his job, though, doesn't he?
Yes, he's a single man who works till 10 o'clock most every night.
It's his 8th year at Syracuse, his 4th as a head coach.
Second time for the Orangemen.
Make it 2nd down and 10 now as the ball comes back just inside the 40. No place to go. Warren Sapp Kennard Lang, 76 and 96.
Syracuse offensively, Keith, has scored only 17 points against Miami's defense in the last 3 games they've played. Miami, as we mentioned earlier, has not given up a touchdown on the road or to a Big East opponent this year. So if Syracuse is going to come back, they're going to have to break some strings.
3rd and 17. Ball is flopping around. It's incomplete forward pass. He was trying to throw it as he was going down, and it was knocked out of there. So it was an incomplete forward pass, and they will punt it.
That's the bottom of your screen. Number 96 is Lang. He's going to be being a beneficiary of the double team on Sapp, number 76. Lang leads the team with 8 sacks, but one of the reasons is because all of the attention that Warren Sapp gets right next to him.
Sean Reale is in to punt. Jamie German is waiting for it at the 25. And a retreat a bit. 21. Penalty flags all over the place. Jim Turner was shoved in the back. And the penalty will go against Miami.
And the 2 players involved are smiling about it. They knew he was waiting for him to turn, and he just didn't turn.
So the penalty goes against Miami, and we go to 20.
Well, Keith, we're talking about the Miami offense so much of the time, and they've got a great defense. Take a look at the teams in the past that have won national championships and look to see where they are in scoring offense, but more importantly, look at the scoring defense. Obviously, if you can't score, you got a better chance to win these ball games, and the defense of Miami has been the foundation for those national championships, and they're looking pretty good this afternoon.
They are.
Well, that's so true, Lenny. Everybody remembers the Kozars and the Testaverdes and the Walshes of Miami, but that defense was the one that always set the tone.
Ball is on the 12-yard line, and it's Larry Jones picking his way up to the 21. He got 9 yards on a carry that was detoured momentarily, but regenerated by his own personal strength.
And that defense, Keith, of Miami has had to kind of hold up or bolster the offense, because as we've seen here in the first half with Miami, they've taken a while to get going. They've done that before this season. It takes them a while to get going. They've been inconsistent. They miss, but the defense has always been there.
Costa gives it to Jones, and he's got a first down at about the 28-yard line. Now they get a little room behind them. They're beginning to take control of the line of scrimmage.
And one of the reasons is they're running the ball up the middle. Since the injury to Antoine Pons, that is the 3rd linebacker that Syracuse has lost in the middle this year. They lost Nate Hemsley early in the year, and Greg Shaw also. Pons is the 3rd inside linebacker that has gone out with an injury.
2:45 in the 3rd quarter.
There he comes. He's coming back.
Larry Jones drilled down about the line of scrimmage. 83. Chris Marks got there first, junior from Everett, Massachusetts. In this quarter, with 2:20 to go, Miami has picked up 103 yards, and Syracuse just 15.
It's 2nd and 9 for Miami.
Antoine Pound is back.
Take a look at I wonder who got fired up at halftime and who didn't. Erickson got him going. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns.
Costa out of the shotgun, goes down the middle. Tellison is there for the catch. He's having a good day near the 45, and another Miami first down, and here's John.
Keith, in the Pac-10, Arizona State trying to keep Oregon out of the Rose Bowl, but Danny O'Neal goes 15 yards to Kristen McLemore. 20-3 is the lead for the Ducks. In the WAC, Utah had a big lead over New Mexico, but it's only one now, 21-20, Keith.
The Ducks are for real, huh?
We'll see. 4 catches and 53 yards for A.C. Tellison.
Wait a minute, they beat Washington and they beat Arizona.
Yeah. The only problem you got with Oregon is a very thin team. One injury could just absolutely disrupt the whole thing for them.
Yeah.
This is Green, Yatil Green, making the catch.
So look at the Bowl Coalition top 25. Everybody's doing all right or playing later. Of course, Syracuse is losing here.
Ball in Syracuse territory, 49-yard line, second down.
Washington State is losing. Southern Cal. North Carolina lost.
Second down and 3. This is Larry Jones and another Miami first down, and now I think you can clearly see that the Miami offensive line is taking control of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and they're running inside.
The thing about Oregon, and nobody in the world could be happier for Rich Brooks than I am, because they've had some hard times, and Rich gave up the AD's job and all of that to go back to coaching. But they've got 3 losses, and but the ones in the conference are the ones that count.
That's right.
Jones again. That's about the 34.
Larry Jones, 23 to carry.
20-yard line. Excuse me, the 34-yard line. When Miami came out to start the third quarter, you had a sense that they were jacked up.
Well, and I think the defense was on the field first for Miami, and they set the tone. They were jacked up. They came out and stopped Syracuse, and the offense is like the little brother of the defense.
So we got a quarter to go. Miami leads at 14-6. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC station. Crunch time, really, for Syracuse, because Miami has the ball. They're moving the ball. They own the line of scrimmage in the third quarter. Now it's time for the Orangemen, if they're to have a chance, to dig as deep as they can. On second down and 6, Larry Jones takes it to the 30. He's a couple of yards short of the first down.
Here's a look at the third quarter numbers. Miami's starting to take over. The 2 turnovers on the Syracuse side, that one led to a touchdown, and the 153 yards rushing for Miami. When they rush for 150 yards, they've won 41 games in a row.
They're using Jones and Stewart now just to beat on them. Syracuse is all messed up. They got the wrong people in the ball game. They're substituting 5 at a time, and that time it did not work out. They lose the timeout.
With their sights set on the Big Ten title, Penn State takes on rival Illinois. Or other key conference games cap off a college football doubleheader next Saturday on ABC.
I think you can see from a lot of those people are the Miami folks there, the small contingent here. But they're pretty happy. Third down conversions for the Canes today, 5 out of 10. 14:27 to go in the game. Pinned to Stewart. And on third down and 2, he turns the corner for the first down. Something's been happening up in Pullman. Let's hear about it from John.
Well, Keith, your alma mater's getting it going here. Washington State against USC, and Chad Davis drops back, lofts the pass right into the arms of Eric Moore, and they have their first touchdown within a field goal now, Keith.
Pretty good little ball game. I wonder if Brent and Dick went up to see my alumni center.
And did they name it after Turian?
Yes. James Stewart. Big back, big, strong back, just a hammer. He's bigger than Lawrence Phillips. In fact, Stewart, I guess, may be about the biggest of the running backs about the country.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there may be a bigger one, but
not with his success and notoriety.
Not with his speed.
Yeah. Rutgers is showing some signs of getting a program that's going to produce some wins. State University of New Jersey. All you got to do is keep 10% of the New Jersey kids at home.
A lot of football players in the state of New Jersey.
Yes. 2nd down and 8. From the 25 for Miami. Costa pumps it. And he's down to about the 16. That'll be a first down. I would think that Bill Curry's probably had about enough of life in Lexington. Things have not gone well there this year.
That business a little earlier with his family was really distasteful.
17-yard line, first down, Miami. Stewart again. He had Kevin Abrams hanging on him, and he had the strength to go ahead and pick up a couple of yards, and you got a Miami man down on the field. Auburn winning again today. Mississippi State winning today, and they've got Alabama coming in next week, and the Tide's down at LSU tonight. It is Ricky Perry who is hurt. Ricky Perry is a 329-pound junior offensive tackle, and he's in pain.
Injured players, number 73, Ricky Perry.
Tomorrow on ABC Sports, 3 Eastern, the elite distance runners of the world will be involved in the 25th running of the New York City Marathon, which will not be shown in the New York area, at least our coverage will. Then live from Hawaii at 4 Eastern, 3 Central and Pacific, the final round of the Lincoln Mercury Kapalua International. All tomorrow here on ABC Sports. Remind you again now, the New York City Marathon will not be shown in the New York area. Robert Woodis would be the man to replace Ricky Perry. He's hurting some. Has to leave the game when the timeout is called, and he's got leg trouble. Kansas State remains a prominent contender for a rather good bowl game. Oklahoma winning today. Colorado didn't score a whole lot of points, but they got the win.
If they're having trouble getting Ricky off the field, they're going to need some players and not student managers to get him off.
329 pounds of him. 20.
Well, Keith, Dan Conley is also on the bench for Syracuse. He's got an ice pack on that bad knee of his. It is just sore. It's not injured, but it's a good picture of what this young man has been going through throughout his career. He gets into a ball game. He gives you 100% everything he has. But when he can't take any more of the pain, when it's too sore, he comes off to the sideline, tries to ice it down to get something back so he can go back in the ball game. Keith?
Okay, 20. This is a big loss for Miami, though, if he's hurt.
Yeah, he was one of their top 2 offensive linemen.
And you have to kind of think down the road. Miami still got Boston College coming down there at the end of the season. That won't be a gimme. And then, of course, everybody's talking about Miami, Nebraska possibly in the Orange Bowl. It is 2nd down and 7. James Stewart, the single back. The ball is on the Syracuse 14-yard line. Stewart goes in behind the fresh legs on the right side. Robert Woodis, and gets a couple of yards out of it. Let's update you now on what's happening with the Ohio State Buckeyes and Wisconsin.
Well, Wisconsin beat Michigan earlier, but they are having the problems with Ohio State. Bobby Hoying to Chris Sanders, 16 yards. Second time these two have hooked up today. Eddie George just ran one in, 24-3. And look at the standings in the Big Ten. Remember, the number 2 team goes to the Citrus Bowl. Keith.
Thank you, John. Stewart now has 100 yards on 20 carries. Shotgun, 3rd down and 6. Costa gets rid of it in a hurry. Green, touchdown, Miami. Yatil Green is a redshirt freshman from Lake City, Florida, 6'3", 193 pounds. Get used to the name. He'll be around a while.
This is the wide receiver screen. Watch, the lineman will block and then come downfield to block the linebackers. The throw is high. Green makes a nice catch of it and runs it in for the touchdown.
Comes at 11:39 to play in the ball game. They had the ball for 14 plays to go 88 yards, and Pruitt makes it. No, he did not make it. 20-6. Pruitt is wide right. There is something about place kickers in Florida and wide right. I've heard that before.
FSU.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Bud Light, if you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. Bayer, for the relief of tough body and joint pain. You get older, you get smarter. You get Bayer. And quality care service at your Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers. That extra point Dane Pruitt just missed was number 5 this year. Dardar and Turner waiting for Pruitt's kick. Going toward Turner. Yard deep. Good little move to get him across the 20, and a penalty flag. Probably got a push in the back, I do believe. Yep, that's exactly it. It's against Syracuse. And let's spend a moment with Lynn Swann.
Well, Keith, I'm on the Miami bench standing behind Ricky Perry, number 73, the offensive lineman that came off. He is not coming back in the ball game. They believe it is just a sprain on his left foot, but he had surgery on that foot in January, so they're going to keep him out of the ball game, take him in, have him x-rayed as a precaution, and not let him go back into the ball game. Keith?
Yes, sir. This will be the worst starting point for Syracuse all day. Their own 8-yard line. 11:33 to play in the game, and they'll go with Dardar and Willis in the backfield. Harrison is the wideout close to the camera there. They run it, and Kirby Dardar, who's quite an explosive slashing runner, gets it out across the 15 out to the 18-yard line. That's very close to a first down. It is the first down. I want to thank the Syracuse marching band. They had delivered a sweatshirt. They heard that I had some luggage missing. I found the luggage. It was delivered promptly, but I've got the sweatshirt and I'm going to keep it.
Should I ask what airline you were flying?
No. Penalty flags all over the place. It was handled well. Face mask against Miami. I merely wanted to thank the marching band.
Here's a look at the game in yards. First half, Syracuse won the battle, and in the second half, it's been all Miami.
Defeat is heavy. Malcolm Thomas in the backfield now with Dardar and Willis. Mason keeping. He ducked under one potential collision. and picked up a first down.
Well, this is the way that Syracuse has to do it. They can't drop back and just throw pocket passes. Not because their quarterback can't throw, but because their offensive line can't pass protect that way. They need the option, they need the threat of the run, and they can throw that way.
So put the first down at the 31-yard line with Mason now 3 out of 7, 25 yards, interception, and he's run for 40 yards on 11 carries. This is Dardar. He's got a couple. And if time permits, we invite you to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report with scores and highlights from about the country. Almost 70 degrees today, or might have even gone past that since we came to the ballpark. Incredible streak of weather lately here in the Syracuse area, which annually is one of the early snowfall places. Not this year. Timeout called by Syracuse. With 9:42 to play in the game, and Miami leading 20-6. A 20-6 ball game. You see the time remaining at 9:42. Southern California Trojans have scored again against Washington State and increased their lead to 20-10 in the fourth quarter of play. Rob Johnson has always had big ball game against Cougars.
Played well up there, hadn't he? Yeah, against the Cougars. Yes. You know, that happens sometimes. I don't know why. Maybe just the colors of the other team. You feel comfortable playing against another team.
On 2nd and 7 from the 34. It is Malcolm Thomas. Finally pushed out of bounds. There's a penalty flag back at the 40-yard line. Holding Syracuse. It'll come back. Here's John Saunders.
Keith, you just mentioned the score, and here it is. Rob Johnson again for the third time today. He hits Keyshawn Johnson, who fights his way out of a tackle, and then it's a foot race. A nice cut right there for the touchdown. His third of the day, 65 yards. And right now it's 20-10. Oregon still leading Arizona State. If those scores hold up, Oregon gets the Rose Bowl if they win the rest of their games. Keith.
And I expect they very well might. Though funny things happen in the Willamette Valley when Oregon State get together. Oregon State's the wishbone team in the Pac-10. Syracuse penalties, they have 10 for 83 yards. But, you know, one of the things that wanders through my mind, Bob, talking about Oregon going to the Rose Bowl, is how much fun it would be to see the face of my old friend Len Casanova as his beloved Oregon team goes back to the Rose Bowl. That would be pure joy. Now well into his 80s. Great move by Mason. You better throw it, son. And he can't find anybody to throw it to, and there's a considerable loss on the play.
Holmes and Sapp and everybody was all over the field. Sapp finally pushed him out of bounds, slapped him on the head. He was a tight end. Sapp was a tight end when he first got to the University of Miami, and he had such good footwork and size. He's now 280 and 6'3" that he outgrew the tight end position, but he's from a small town in Florida, Plymouth, Florida. He was raised by a single parent, his mother, one of 6 children. He says she dished out a lot of love, a lot of food, and a lot of discipline. He says, my mom is my world. And when he goes into the NFL, he's going to take care of his mom.
He's got a man. It's Wilson, and it is intercepted. And then not held. Number 12, Carlos Jones, was going man mano against Sermon Wilson. Seemed to have the interception, and as they came down, he couldn't hold it.
Left side of your screen. It's a nice play by Carlos Jones to make a play on the ball.
He had it there, didn't he?
Yeah, Wilson did a nice job to knock it loose. Yep.
Here comes the punt from Sean Reale. Hooked it left.
The Lombardi finalist. He'd be a defensive Heisman Trophy candidate for sure. There's the lady he was talking about who raised him and said, boys, he said, if you did anything wrong at school or down the road or anywhere, she knew it before you got home. And there'd be hell to pay. Second half possessions for Miami. They got it straightened out at halftime, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Danielle Ferguson, the single back from the 46-yard line, first down. Ferguson is in there for about 9 yards, and we go inside 9 minutes now at 8:59. 20-6 Miami. Danielle Ferguson played with your youngest, didn't he, Brian?
Yes, he did at Columbus High School in Miami. He was, in fact, he set the county rushing record for Dade County in Miami. Wanted to stay home and play with the university, and brings a little bit different dimension to the Hurricanes. He's got speed and toughness and is a slashing type of runner.
3 wideouts now, the bottom of your picture. Back to Ferguson. On 2nd down and 1, easily has the first down as he runs it down to the Syracuse 38-37 line. Clearly, the Canes are in control now.
Yeah.
Syracuse just wore down. They just wore them out.
Yeah, let's throw some bouquets to that offensive line. Watch as they're going to be blocking. And there's going to be a huge hole right up in here where Ferguson is going to run the football. Straight blocking, nothing fancy. 66 is Seminette. Jones is the center. Green, 51, is doing a stellar job. It's the offensive line that's carried the load for Miami.
Number 40 steps into the fray. George Myers, a sophomore from Bayonne, New Jersey, for that tackle. And when you look in underneath all of that armor, Lordy, they look young, don't they?
Oh, don't they? I mean, just because they're wearing a helmet and pads and they look ferocious and fearful, you have to remember that they're 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids that are going to school and only practicing football for 20 hours a week. And they're entitled to make some mistakes.
Costa got something out of it. About 5 yards.
Costa's one of those guys that's known some adversity. A tough year last year. He was benched in '93. They had high expectations. A lot of criticisms. In fact, he said he got a call from Bernie Kosar, who was one of the ex-quarterbacks for the university, and Bernie of the Cleveland Browns last year said, hey, he says, keep your spirits up. He says, nothing's happening to you that hasn't happened to all the rest of us. It goes with the territory. He said it really meant a lot for Bernie to give him a call.
3rd down and 4. Ferguson. Close. Didn't get it, though. Costa in today's ball game is 10 of 22 for 118 yards and a touchdown, and that's short.
And probably the main problem that Costa has, Keith, are the comparisons that they keep throwing up. They keep remembering the Testaverdes and the Jim Kellys and the Torettas and the Steve Walshes and the Kosars, and he is not that type of player. He cannot carry this team by himself.
Gets the first down.
And it's not his fault for that. It's just the type of player he is. Those players were a lot better and had a lot more talent than Costa. And here's what's going for the Hurricanes right here. And this is why the Hurricanes have been successful. 202 yards on 43 rushes. That's over 5 yards per rush, or close to it. And that's very good.
From the 27 now, the pitch to Daniel Ferguson. And he is shoved out of bounds by Darrell Parker, the strong safety. We'll start next Saturday at 12 noon Eastern time from Orlando, the Citrus Bowl, Florida State's home game. Notre Dame coming to town. Florida State's the one that's going to be all jacked up to turn things around after that tough, close loss last year. You heard Lou Holtz at halftime talking about that. Thing that makes it doubly dangerous, so he's had an extra week to get into his thing, and he's pretty good at it. Penn State, Illinois is a very important ball game. Alabama, Mississippi State, very important ball game. A lot of stuff going on these days in college football. 5:56. Ferguson again. Down to the 16-yard line. That'll be another first down.
At the 17-yard line.
You want to check around next week and call your local cable operator to see which of the pay-per-view games are available on cable and which game is being shown in your area, particularly in the second half of our doubleheader. You could have quite a banquet. This is the 9th play in this possession. Stewart has scored 3 touchdowns today. Ferguson's in there doing the heavy work right now, and he makes it first and goal to go from the 3-yard line.
Well, there's no question that this offensive line is dominating now. They control the line of scrimmage. 51 is Green, 63 is Jones. Simonette is 66, who just clears that gaping hole. Alan Simonette, number 66. Amelski on the left side. That's the difference in this offense this year than in the past. This offensive line, who have been young the last couple of years, have really come of age. And Greg Smith, the offensive line coach and assistant head coach, needs to get the credit.
Miami has taken a timeout with an even 5 minutes to play in the game. Put the ball on the 3-yard line. First and goal to go for Miami. In the first half, the Canes had 56 yards. In the second half, they've had 170.
Trying to get him to go in motion.
He turns and gives the ball to Derek Harris, who is listed basically as a tight end. 5'11", 250 pounds, a junior out of Willow Ridge, Texas. He's been in several times today as a tight end, primarily as a blocker. But he has been a running back and a block of a fullback, if you will. So they tried him, and he got a yard. But he was, Costa was stomping his foot trying to get Ferguson to go in motion.
He didn't have an itch, or he wasn't, he didn't hear some music down at that end. It was, he wanted the tailback to go in motion.
All right, let's see what happens with Ferguson here now. He's got it. He's in traffic. He's got a penalty flag thrown in his direction. Let's see what that's all about.
Distance to the goal line. Repeat second down.
So they'll repeat second down. Derek Harris got in there. Touchdown. So they run that 250-pounder out of the fullback position, and he sticks it in the end zone. And that thump you heard was the door slamming. Just worn down and really asserted themselves with the running game in the second half. Syracuse, in case some of you might not know, but only Boston College is smaller in the Big East than Syracuse. The enrollment here is 10,200. Pruitt's extra point this time is good. And Syracuse must go far to recruit their. They have 16 states represented on their roster as they came to the ballpark today. And the reason for that is there's just not that much population around here. There are only 9 AA high school teams in the immediate region. And the coach said yesterday 2 of those probably should not be ranked AA. But they have run a lot of people through this organization over the years, in 104 years of college football. Names that you can't help but recognize. I mean, how about that? Zonka and Little and Monk and Morris and Darrell Johnson, who's a great player right now for the Dallas Cowboys.
Some pretty good running backs in that group,
aren't
there? Oh, my goodness.
Brown, Davis, Ernie Davis, a wonderful player. John Mackey.
Uh-huh.
There have been a lot of them come through here.
Saw Joe Morris. He's here for the game today, by the way. These are just some of the great players that have come through here through the years.
Utah is losing to New Mexico. And USC has kicked the field goal for a 13-point lead, and that's got to be getting pretty late in the ball game now. So I think that one is decided. And they'll be glancing out of the corner of their eye and looking for a party tonight in Eugene, Oregon, probably. 35-yard line. Pruitt hits it, going toward the corner. Jim Turner waiting on it a yard deep in the end zone. He's going to stay there. So they'll bring it out to the 20, where it'll be first down for Syracuse with 3 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the ball game, and you get a flag thrown at the 10-yard line. Some frustration starting to show up now, but this is a personal foul call against Miami, and that's a bit silly actually, because you're in control of things now at 27-6, and time running out, and you get a personal foul on a play where the ball is already dead.
Well, here's a look at Miami winning at Syracuse today. They have Pittsburgh at home, and then they go to Temple, and then their last game, Boston College at home. And I would think that might be their toughest assignment before. If they win those 3, I would think that the chances of them going to the Orange Bowl are pretty good.
Yep.
And playing Nebraska.
Yep. You know, the Big East Conference is a turf conference. There's only one grass field. Gain is 9 yards. Pass caught by Marvin Harrison. Syracuse has played on grass 1 time this year. That was down in East Carolina. Miami, of course, being the only team that plays on grass in the Big East. Second down and 1. And the folks are now beginning to head home from supper table. Herbie Dardar runs into midfield and just across. Utah defeated today by New Mexico. New Mexico is a team that's kind of played in tough luck this year. Pretty good little football team. And they got a big one today in beating Utah. The Utes fall for the first time.
You know, Keith, you mentioned Oregon. They have 2 games left. They control their own destiny. They're at Stanford, and they are at Oregon State, as you mentioned, and that's like a backyard brawl right there.
Malcolm Thomas. And this is the youngster right here that some people think has the potential to grow into a Joe Morris type of running back. And he right now, as a young sophomore, is 5'8", 196 pounds. He is from Jacksonville, Florida, and was thinking about going to Georgia Southern. changed his mind and came on up here. That 125, incidentally, on the sleeve of the Syracuse players is 125th year.
Syracuse played well for a half, and then they just gave out.
Yep. Oh, pretty good block right there. Another good block to keep the quarterback over. And he dances on down the sidelines and gets inside the 20-yard line. The key block that time came from Melvin Tootin, number 74, who came over and took out 2.
He took him out. He's 6'7" and 300, and did he take him out?
I walked up to him yesterday and just kind of leaned on him, and like leaning on a tree. I mean, he is a big man. First down at the Miami 19, but the issue is no longer in doubt. 2.5 minutes to play in the ball game. 27-6 Canes. This is Thomas running in the middle. Adonis Scott, number 25, hit a pretty good lick on the Syracuse running back Thomas that time. He's going to, I think, maybe have, well, the referee's talking to him now. And he's saying, you know, control yourself. Don't want to throw a flag.
Miami has their second team defense in there, but they don't want to give up a touchdown. Got that string against Big East teams.
Yeah, but you've got a second team in there that's fresh late in the ball game. Here's the pitch. And Thomas to the 10, thereabouts. Make it the 11. And 1 minute and 40, the clock is running.
You know,
got some joy going out there now. There's no reason for that. Just going back to the huddle and play.
Here's a look at McMacken, the defensive coordinator, this year for the first time. Tommy Tuberville last year left. Went on to, I think he went to Texas A&M. Sonny Lubick was there a few years ago. The point is that Miami changes coordinators, but the defense continues at a high level because of the athletes, the style of play they use, and they didn't change the system when Erickson came in.
Well, Tootin finally broke. He was hunkered down so long he was probably getting cramps. You quarterbacks don't understand that. You get up there and you start singing songs and changing counts and changing plays, and it's hard when you're a big old fella to hunker down there that long.
Yeah, but you do it in practice, you know, intentionally. Just you're training and you're teaching in these guys, and you're just preparing them for the games. You do it in practice. You don't do anything in the game that you don't do in practice.
Melvin's tired. He's been working hard.
Yeah.
Here we go. Back at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York, we have 32 seconds remaining in a ball game that has been decided for some time, with Miami leading Syracuse by a score of 27-6. It's always kind of wearing to hear something like the former president's problem there. But
yeah.
He's had special kind of life.
Yeah, I think back to my meeting with him when we were Purdue's only visit to the Rose Bowl. We were at Disneyland out there, and he was governor at the time. And he came out and visited with both teams. Very delightful man.
Kevin Mason in a hurry. He's agile. Look at this.
Look out.
Got a chance. Down to the 6-yard line. Great effort.
You talk about, yes, talk about some grit. He took everybody. He took about 16 of the 22 players on the field for a little run. Right here. Now he's got about 10 of them chasing him, and the rest of them are going to follow both teams. Now he's going to cross field. This is a quarterback, folks. This is not a running back.
He's still up. And they finally pull him down at the 11-yard line, and the game is over. So the Miami Hurricanes come north And they win again by a score of 27-6. The genuine Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Miami's Casey Jones, the center, and we name him because the offensive line of Miami just absolutely took control in the second half of play. And number 49 for Syracuse right there, Dan Conley, the linebacker whose knees have been operated on 10 times. He had 13 tackles, 1 interception, and broke up a pass. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund, rewarding outstanding students for academic achievements and to help those in financial need. Now here is Lynn Swan.
Coach, I'm with Dennis Erickson. Coach, congratulations on the big win. You control your destiny in the Big East. They presented you with a number of problems, though, in the first half.
Well, yeah, they played extremely well. They played with tremendous emotion and just played well. We were very lucky to be in the game. We came out in the second half and played extremely well.
I know I talked to you yesterday, and we talked about the crowd noise and how you really wanted to get in and take them out. What was the conversation with you and your team at the end of that first half?
Well, we just knew we had to come out and run the football, be better on offense, basically, and that's what we did, and we played good on defense. And they played their hearts out. Syracuse, you got to give them a lot of credit.
In a ball game you look at like this, you look at the second half, you think the keys are the adjustments you have to make. What was the most important adjustment you think you made?
We didn't make a lot of adjustments. We just executed better with what we did.
And Stewart and Sapp, talk about their play?
Well, they both played extremely well. It's, you know, James came out, run the ball. Of course, Warren always plays well.
Coach, congratulations. Thank you.
All right, your standings now in the Big East Conference. Miami remaining undefeated. Syracuse dropping to 4-1, and the Canes are in pretty good shape. Now we invite you to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report featuring scores and highlights from across the country. Your final score, 27-6, Miami over Syracuse.